Today we're looking at Aero, a Diamond 3 Ana on console. They requested this review on the Overwatch University subreddit, where they wrote, I think the main things wrong are my ability usage, I feel like I miss a lot of nades and sleeps, and my positioning, I never know where I should be at. I know those are the main things on Ana, and to be honest, I have no idea how I even hit Diamond. I was just playing and not even paying attention to it, but now I'm grinding for Masters. I really don't know what else I could have done on this game to win. Yeah, ability usage and positioning always comes up in Ana VODs, so we will take a look and we'll see what we can do to help you out. First thing we always want to do is take a look at our team comp. So we got Orisa, Genji Ashe, Lifeweaver Ana. Very solid comp. I'd really like to see you particularly, just help your Orisa out. Also try to follow up on your Genji dives. Either of them could be good nano targets too. Let's see how it goes. Fast forward a tiny bit until we get to the fight. That's very heal body to start. Your Orisa's taking a good amount of damage, but I'd like to see you just go for some early damage on the enemies if possible. But yeah, your DPS already get a couple early picks, so yeah, we should win this here. Let's try with the sleep. Yeah, just be a little careful about playing on point. Yeah, you don't want to like get caught out in the middle of the fight. Like that right there. You don't want to do what that Ana just did. Be playing on point where everyone can focus you down. Granted, the enemy team hasn't pushed in yet, but you just want to be careful, just in case like they all rush in. You don't want to be on point where you can get burst down. But it's fine. Your team is just kind of popping off. You could have poked a little longer. The card has to go through an animation before you can actually push it. But, this is fine. Your team pushed way forward. You're kind of forced on cart duty. It happens. How would your Ashe die? I just want to see. We're going for damage. Yeah, she was right there with Lifeweaver. That happened kind of fast. So I would just be a little bit careful, like especially now that the cart's turned the corner and it's sort of out in the open here. It's very easy for you to get burst down. Especially, they have a Widow now. So even if you want to rotate, you're going to be left very exposed to her headshot. So honestly, as soon as this cart turns the corner here, I would try to like play around, play a corner or something, just duck behind, try to LOS the Widow and let your team push the cart underneath. See how you're you're in the middle of things. Yeah, see, exactly. You just get burst down just because, you are out in the open, especially as the cart starts going down the decline, that natural cover is gone for you. So yeah, once you realize, the cart's going to be here, once you realize you're gonna be exposed, just try to duck around. Even like going over here where your team is, like where your Lifeweaver is, would have been better than just hanging out in the open like you did.
I'm not finished.
We're coming up on our ults here. Yeah, be careful of the Widow. You don't want to, like, especially when she's, she's looking down the lane you're at. You want to be really careful about peeking. Even to, like, go for a sleep or a quick shot. Okay, so you and Genji have your Nano Blade. So hopefully he'll dash in the air. What I want you to do is I want you to, start moving forward, nano him, and then rotate, try to get a nade on top of the people he's focusing. And hopefully like your Orisa will push in too, and we can all capitalize. And once again, Widow's looking this way, so just be careful. I wish he had dashed in the air because he kind of just dropped down where you couldn't nano him. I don't think you realized that he was blading until he was already out of LOS, so that's unfortunate. But we traded, so like, especially like if they push into our Orisa, we could absolutely think about nanoing her now. Okay. Okay. I understand why you were a little hesitant to push there with the Widow, but... honestly, you could think about... I mean, you want to be a little bit careful about being by yourself, but as the cart's pushing down here, you know, you guys have won the fight. It's between fights. You could think about rotating up these stairs and just being ready to play, like, right up here, you know, as the cart pushes through. Hopefully, you know, your Ashe will, like, coach gun up to the high ground and join you, and you guys can, you know, play together and keep yourself safe. Those are the type of things that I would think about. You know, always try to think about how you can reposition if necessary when it's between fights like this. Yeah, I would definitely think about, you know, as soon as Orisa pushes into people, or even now that she doesn't have damage fall off, you could think about nanoing her anyway. But I was going to say nano her early this fight. Yeah, now that she has that damage fall off, you don't really have to, like, wait until she gets close to people anymore. Like, that was a good nano, but just you know, you and your Life Weaver had the same idea of saving her. That was unfortunate. That's one of those times where comms might be helpful. Yeah, Widow is seeking you out. Be careful. Honestly, it might even be better. If you can't get out, it'd be better to just let her kill you, but that's fine. You do get out. Keep rotating. Like, they're all coming over here to shoot you. Even if, like, Widow lands a body shot, Soldier lands a Helix rocket, or even a couple shots, you're dead here. I would think about rotating even more. I know you want to escort your Life Weaver out, but you can do it a little safer than that. I mean, if your teammates get Widow headshot, there's literally nothing you can do about that. Yep, you can rotate up. People are worrying about your Orisa, but she does get pulled. I would be careful about this. You're by yourself, and they could easily push into you. Yeah, like our Orisa is below on the low ground, low HP. Honestly, especially now that we got, like, the tree here, it might have been better to just stay up on that high ground. Yeah, I can see how this positioning is much more restrictive. You can't really do much at all. I think just staying on the high ground there might have been a little bit better. I tried to land a nade. Okay, nice. It was a little too late. Their Ana got the nade first. I would have tried to go for that nade a little bit sooner. Like, when you see that, like, your tank or even any of your teammates are actively engaging people and, you know, they're butting heads, throwing your nade so it hits both of them is a great way of just guaranteeing that your team wins the fight. I've said it before, the best nades you can throw as Ana are nades that hit both teammates and enemies that are fighting each other. I'd be a little bit careful about this. Your Sojourn's here, though. It's not that big of a deal. It's fine. I would just wait for the Ram Shield to go down, yeah. I mean, Ram Shield only lasts for 4 seconds, so if you see him throw it up, honestly, I would just, you know, just LOS, don't be in his poke range, and maybe you could have, like, you know, just been paying attention to Life Weaver and kept him up there instead. Point is, though, definitely just don't even bother shooting a Ram Shield. Just wait for it to go down. We're slept here. You definitely want to help our Orisa. Yeah, you could even nade her. Okay, that's fine. I like that nano. Yeah, we could definitely go help Orisa. Yeah, Widow is looking this way. She just killed your Ashe. So, yeah, for one, you shouldn't be trying to duel a Widow like this because, you know, she has a major advantage over you where she can one-shot, you have to 3-tap her. You're very lucky that, you know, she wasn't able to land that shot, but honestly, if this was any higher rank, 100% you would have been deleted there. The other thing, too, is, you know, you nanoed Orisa, and then you just kind of just left her and went and did your own thing. Especially if you nano a target like that, definitely think about just, you know, pocketing them, trying to follow up on what they're doing with a nade, a sleep or something. Because, you know, even with the damage reduction, Orisa pushing into everybody without your support, she was still... she was still able to die. So definitely let's always think about just keep investing into the people we nano. Even like, you know, you nano a Genji for Nano Blade. It was like I was saying before, try to throw a nade on the top of the people he's focusing. Try to shoot them too. Try to heal Genji so he's basically unkillable. Yeah, you don't just want to abandon your nano targets like that. Especially not to duel a Widow. You can't, like, especially as you climb up in ranks, another thing with dueling Widow, you can't rely on like a Widow to miss her shot or people to make mistakes in general, because the higher you climb, the less mistakes they are. Like top 500 players are making little to no mistakes. You're not going to have any success as you climb playing like that. Yeah, we're probably going to die here. Yep. And it's like less than 20 seconds. So 100%, I don't think we're going to cap here, and I would definitely attribute this round to not helping our Orisa after nanoing her. Yeah. Even there, it might have been better to take the high ground, but I'm not sure if there was much more you could have done regardless. So yeah, just mix of, you know, target focus, help your tank in general. Definitely, you know, help them when they're nanoed, and just try not to take unfavorable duels like against a Widow, even if you think you can win. Usually not worth the risk, especially like in Diamond as you climb. So here, you know, Ryan's pushing in. I would just think about, you know, as they're closing the distance, as they're turning the corner, I would just think about backing up a little bit more. You know, they still got the Widow, so this is very, very risky positioning. You are in her line of sight. It's usually better to honestly start like back here by the fire truck, you know. If you realize they got a Widow, you got a LOS, you rotate to the other side. You know, then you got a couple options for positioning for here. You know, you can rotate back this way. You can rotate behind this pillar, keep going back, you know, go around if necessary. Different things you can do, but you definitely want to recognize when the enemy team is pushing forward, and you want to back up accordingly. Like, see how you're like right, like Ryan's not looking at you, but you know, still you were very easy to focus down. You're 57 HP. So just, okay, I mean, your team pops off, but especially like on a tank, I would just try to avoid nading them when they're full HP, because, you know, you're probably not going to be able to burst their health pool before the anti-effect expires, especially now that, you know, the anti-effect just got nerfed very slightly, but it still means that we just have to think a little bit more about how we use it. Instead of throwing it on full HP tanks, we got to wait till they get like half or so, then use the nade to cut off their healing at a critical moment that'll allow us to confirm the kill. Same thing with your sleeps. I think like you slept, I think it was the Moira early, and then Ryan saw that as an opportunity to charge in. Just be a little bit careful about using them a little bit too early in the fight.
Don't fret. I see you. I'm under attack.
Yeah, you can open up a little bit more now that the Widow's gone. Yeah, another thing too, I just want to see you go for a little bit more damage, especially early in the fights before your team starts taking a lot of damage themselves. I said that earlier, but that is very crucial in these higher ranks to be doing damage as support.
I won't let you fall.
Yeah, so we got our nano. We can, you know, if Soldier gets Visor by the time we need to use it, we can nano Visor. Even nanoing Orisa can be good.
I've got you.
Yeah, they're pushing up. This position's good. I wouldn't get too close. So if anything, yeah, I would think about maybe starting to back up a little. Or actually, this is fine.
Get in there.
Now I would definitely back up. I would honestly rotate around the corner. You don't want to be out. Exactly, yeah. You don't want to be like in the middle of everything, especially like when Orion's being aggressive like that. Whenever Orion is really Wing, you gotta think, you know, he's gonna have Shatter, especially, you know, we're halfway through the defense and he hasn't shattered yet, so. Definitely recognize, it's important to recognize when the enemy team is pushing forward, when they're being aggressive, and we want to be able to back up accordingly. Think about like, I want to keep a certain distance from the enemy team, let's say 40 meters or so. I'm just throwing a number out there. But just think about the distance you want to be from the enemy team and try to maintain that at all times, whether they're, you know, they're moving back, moving forward, and you adjust your positioning accordingly.
Tactical visor activated.
Let the Kitsune guide you!
Okay, nice shots. Could have healed her Ash there, but it's honestly fine. We still won the fight. She'll be back by the time we need her. That's fine. Go for some early damage. I understand why you ducked. You were 86 HP very fast. Same thing. Nades a little bit early. Once again, I'd wait until like now would be a much better time. You see the Zarya low, you know, she might bubble, but even so, like this is a better opportunity to throw the nade when she's already low just to cut off the healing. That's another thing too. You can always track the Zarya bubbles. Wait for her. Like once you know that she doesn't have them anymore, that's the time you can try to nade her. Now that the duration is slightly nerfed, we just really, really have to think about the crucial moments that we can shut off the enemy team's healing. Yeah, I would be healing your... Let's back that up a little bit. Yeah, so we duck a little bit too much because we hear the Soldier Visor. I would definitely be, you know, rotating. Just make sure you're not in his sight lines, but just I would be peeking just enough to keep healing your Orisa because she dies here. Because, you know, we spend that little bit of time in activity. A couple seconds like that is an eternity in Overwatch. Yeah, you don't want to be LOSing your team for like a prolonged period of time. Like if you hear the Soldier, you want to be able to know where he is. If he's not in your sight lines, you're fine. Especially like, you know, you're close to the bus here. So like even if like he poked out this way, if he poked out this way, you can definitely like just adjust your positioning accordingly to LOS him. All right. So this is fine. I would be a little bit careful about playing in this area. Like, it's fine to rotate up this way if you want to go up to the stairs, play where your soldier is. But just hanging out here can be very dangerous because, like, let's just look from the enemy sojourn's point of view. Like, you know, you're in this narrow path right here. Like, she knows that she just has to just spam this area and she's probably going to hit you. Like, it's weird. It's like the walls kind of make it easier for her to line up her shots. So yeah, just think about like this restrictive positioning where you're like only really exposed to like a lane where people know they can just spam down to hit you. It's a little bit risky. I would just think about if you're going to take this rotation, I would just think about going all the way, committing to it, and then, you know, going to where your soldier is. You don't want to be caught out over here. Like Zen's going to spam that hallway too.
Someone stop that payload!
Stand up straight.
Little heal body. We could have gone for some damage early there. So like, you know, the enemy team, you know, we weren't really doing damage to them. So they're just walking up for free and then they're able to, you know, they have the freedom to push forward and then just start firing at you because you're not, you know, you're not threatening them first. So we definitely want to, before we get to this point where our Reese is half HP, we want to be, you know, putting some pressure on the enemy team so they're not as aggressive and they're a little bit more hesitant about continuing to push. Yeah, you can think about nanoing your Orisa. Like, I would definitely...
That must sting.
Yeah, I would have nanoed Orisa there. Just to keep her up, you know. She could tank some damage. Then, you know, Soldier can follow up with a visor while they're focused on her. But yeah, losing our Orisa here is definitely going to put us in a tough spot.
I'm here.
Let the Kitsune
You're
guide
followed
you.
up. Get in there.
Tactical visor activated.
Огонь по готовности.
I don't think we needed all those ults, but... Especially not the Bob at the end, but yeah. We kind of did need to invest a few ults to ensure we won that fight without a tank, though.
I'm here. Keep fighting.
You could be like, you see the soldier poke out there, you could be shooting him right now. These are the type of things. Early on in the fight, when the enemy team first starts poking out, excuse me, I want to see you go for some damage on them. Then as your team starts taking pressure, that's when you switch to healing more.
No recovery. 60 seconds.
Like, see, your Orisa's full HP, we could be trying to shoot the Zarya. Even like, you know, no, you realize nobody's shooting at you. You know, you got your team here, you know, to help keep you safe. This is a better opportunity to just scope in a little bit more and just ensure that we're hitting the shots. Once people start focusing you, that's when you unscope and do what you were doing, though.
She's gonna blow.
Forward a tiny bit.
Covering you. 30 seconds.
Like, even right here, our Orisa's full HP, we could be going for damage.
This ends now.
Nice sleep. Yeah, Ana got the nade. Their Ana got the nade first, so that's unfortunate.
10 seconds. Taking damage.
Yes, I think a little too early on the sleep. Once again, it's better to use our abilities to, like, take someone out of the fight at a critical moment, like you got that beautiful sleep earlier. Same thing with the nade, to cut off healing at a critical moment. Instead of just spamming it early at the fight before, you know, they've really pushed in, they're being a huge threat. It was a little too far. And yeah, plus that and the Zarya bubble. That's a little tough.
The payload is approaching its destination.
Yeah.
I still have some fight in me.
Yeah, nice try. Just for positioning, I want to see you just pay a little bit more attention to the way the enemy team is moving, you know? if they're moving forward, I want you to back up a little bit. You don't want to be caught out in the open like you did with that Rhine. The other big thing that costs us on attack is just, nanoing our Orisa, abandoning her. You always want to just continue to invest in somebody that you nano. Be it a Genji, like we said with the example, you want to keep following up on his nano blade. Especially a tank, everybody's going to be focusing Orisa when she pushes in like that. We could definitely try to nade people she's focusing, heal her to keep her up. With the damage reduction, it'll be much harder to kill her. Those are definitely the things I want you to try to think about. But yeah, otherwise, nice job. Let me know if you have any questions. If anyone would like to request a VOD review, check the link in the description, and best of luck with your climb.